And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is, darn, it's Thursday, not Friday. It's Thursday, November 13th, 2025. Hope you're having a good day. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, jobs, unemployment, taxes, deficits, your job, your industry, and a lot of crap going on right now. Hope you are listening. But first, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. If you don't follow us on X, you should. If you'd like to email us, you just got to be nice. We'll also post it on the podcast apps as well as the YouTube channel of BizTV. And that's that. First off, a couple of things. Next Wednesday is our annual Kaltbaum family Thanksgiving dinner. We have been doing, this may be year 23 or 24, I don't know, where our family has sponsored, put up the chairs and tables, took them down, served the dinners, amongst many other volunteers, for anywhere around 300. One year we had 400 youth from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida Thanksgiving dinner with music. Sometimes we get celebs. We had Shaq one year and we had Griffey Jr. 2 years. Magicians. The great magicians from Kostya Kimlet will be there this year. Coming up this Wednesday in Orlando, Florida. If you'd like to volunteer, email me at GaryK.com. It's my favorite day of the year, basically. We love doing it. As we have told you throughout the years, we really do believe in always doing something for somebody we need absolutely nothing from. And what better to do for some young kids, young youths, where we've never taken a poll. We never took a poll. A bunch of them are not going to have Thanksgiving dinners. So we reach out and love what we do. That'll be next Wednesday, which means we will not be doing the radio show Wednesday. Adam will be doing it for us. And that's that. Now that's the best news I can give you for today. We do have a lot to cover. Where do I want to start? We don't write down any notes. We don't. We wing this show. We know what we want to speak about, but we don't write down any notes, except on very rare occasions. Today is one of those occasions. We try to guide, we try to tell a story. What do we mean by trying to tell a story? Well, we believe the market tells a story every day. It tells a story of uptrends and downtrends, bull markets and bear markets, tops and bottoms, and all kinds of other crap. And one of the stories we have been telling you here on this show was the warning shots. We've been warning you. The first thing we've been warning you about, and we have said to you on this show, you're welcome, is the no sales stuff in the market. That in the last, 6 months, a bunch of companies with no sales started rolling and being bought up. On top of that, touted. And they have been in select groups. Quantum computers, drones, recently rare earth, crypto mining, nuclear, robo stuff. And when I mean no sales, I mean no sales. We're not kidding. And you have stocks with no sales that have done moonshots. Vertical, based on a theme that gets hot, gets talked about, gets touted. And all we have stated to you, starting again about 8 weeks ago, would you guess? We started going into motto mode. What's our motto? If nothing changes. When the curtains come down and the bullish frenzy turns down, you better get the hell out of the way, because if nothing changes, they're going to go back where they came from. And when we say if nothing changes, we don't know if some of these companies become big stuff. And we're not against that. We're rooting for them. But if nothing changes, and as you know, this comes from precedent. Not president, but precedent. And that means we have studied the past, bull and bear markets, froth and speculation, no sales companies, money-losing companies, and there's one common denominator. When the music stops, if nothing changes, they will go back to where they came from. Well, you're welcome. They're crashing. And they even worsen today after they've been crashing. That's number one. But the other part of that equation, what does that mean? That they're now crumbling down. And by the way, when I mean crumbling, let's look at a rare earth stock that just went from 3 to 10.5. In 4 weeks, it's back down to $4.61. Last I looked, that's 60% almost. Or how about that one that went to a $25 billion market cap in nuclear? It just went from 194 to 101 in the last 3.5 weeks. They reported earnings yesterday, no sales, a loss, and the stock actually bounced a little, right back down 9% today. OKLO is the symbol. So that's number one. And there's a bunch of them. And some of them are down as much as 70%. But what does that mean also? Does that mean risk appetite is gone? Well, could be, possibly, maybe. We also warned you about MicroStrategy, which is now called Strategy. That many call it a scheme. I'm not going to use that word. I'm just going to say suspect of a company that all they do now is buy Bitcoin with debt and more stock. And as Bitcoin now has only dropped, let's see, IBIT has gone from 71.82 to 55.59. That's about, let's call it about 22%. MicroStrategy has dropped from 457 to 208. 3 times as much. Leverage. We warned you about that too. We have also warned you about the excessive concentration of wealth in the market. Namely, semiconductors / artificial intelligence / technology, / data storage and all that stuff. And we have been wondering of a few things. Number one, the debt. There's been a lot of debt involved in moving things forward. Up next, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And names. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, let me pick one out for you. Oracle, run by the esteemed Larry Ellison. They made announcements of where things are going to go going forward. Gargantuan numbers involved with whatever they're going to do going forward for the artificial intelligence community. But we have watched the stock go from $345 to $217 since that big gap to the upside in September. And then that big announcement in October ramped the stock up to $322 and watched it drop the next day and has just basically crashed since. And I think to myself logically, just logic, this company announced gargantuan guidance and the stock is crashing. Oh, and by the way, it's Oracle. And then we start reading about the massive debt that's being taken on by Oracle. And by the way, the price of their debt has been dropping markedly. The bet in the market, not me, is that something's up. And we've been telling you that. And at the very least, it's an avoid. But then there are other things that have happened recently. CoreWeave, another one we warned. The stock just went from 140 to 77 in the last 7 days, with an announcement of a 207% sales growth year over year. But it comes out lower guidance, another loss, and raising of debt. And there's many others. And many others. And we have been reading reports, and we've said to you this recently, about what is known as circular financing, vendor financing, of companies that are putting an investment into other companies. In other words, giving them money or lending them money to buy that first company's products, and of course booked as revenues. Vendor financing, it's called. And it's like, wow, that crap happened in '99. And the markets ignored it. And when we say to you vendor financing and circular financing, it doesn't sound good, but if the market's going higher, maybe everything's okay. Until maybe the markets don't go higher anymore. And recently we've had some rough sledding in some names. Not a ton. And recently we've had some vertical moves in data storage because every day we're hearing bazillions of dollars are being spent, not now, but going forward. 2030. I gotta tell you, I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight, and we're being told by technology companies, which are notorious where things change so often, 2030, we're going to spend this amount of money. And we're like, wow. And we have posed the question to you, what if they don't? And then we pose the statement to you, they had better. Because the worry is, are these priced based on this? And when we tell you something like a Palantir, and again, this is not a rib on the company, it's fact. At the close today is trading at a $408 billion market cap. And that's after dropping from a high just about 8 days ago at $208. It's $172. And it still has you're paying $408 billion for a company with less than $4 billion in revenues, and gets a lot of those revenues from government, which is notorious to potentially change their mind. So some valuation issues. What else have we posed? Tesla. We love Elon Musk. Revolutionary. But all we keep hearing from analysts, don't worry about the car sales, and the latest one was Germany. Car sales down 50% year over year. But don't worry. Don't worry that earnings were down 31% this quarter, 23% the quarter before, 40% the quarter before, 15% the quarter before. Don't worry. Because of robots and robo-taxis. Don't worry. But what do we tell you about the here and now? And meaning the here and now, sometimes the market wants to know what's going on in the here and now, like those no-sales companies. And no, we are not comparing Tesla to a no-sales company. They have $100 billion in revenues. Tesla, well, let me just state for the record, the NASDAQ dropped 536 today. Tesla, one of the most important beta names, dropped $29 today on volume, cracking the 50-day moving average easily. The semiconductors were down $263, 263 points, a pretty good drop. And the semis are now getting what we call wide and loose. And there was some deep doo-doo drops today in some of the strength. What's been the strongest stock? SanDisk. But we have told you classically, companies like this go through cycles. It was down $40 today. That's not going to be good for the market. Celestica down 42 today. Seagate down 20. I can do others, but I don't want to depress you. But then you also have other areas of the AI, and that's the supposed construction heirs of the data centers. Up next, wait till you hear what they did. Up next, on this, the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. By the way, it may be sounding like we're trying to harsh your buzz. No, we are just keeping it real, factual. So we have been telling you there's been all these freaking numbers. All these numbers. And there's been numbers that we've actually said to you. We've actually said to you, they don't make sense. How does a company say they're going to spend, and I'm just throwing it out numbers, how does a company say they're going to spend $100? $100 when they have cash flow of 50 cents? We've heard a bunch of that. So very rough day. The bubble has popped. The bubble's popped. On the no sales crap. The bubble is popped on those memes. On top of this, during this time, you have companies coming out with 2 and 3 times stock moves, which provides leverage. We'll keep watching. Anything that breaks the 50-day moving average goes bye-bye. Today, Robinhood, Palantir, Shopify. Siemens, Monolithic Power, Rambus, SoftBank, Vertiv, Cloudflare, Credo, BWX Tech, Power Generation Systems, whatever. And then you have some very recently strong names that are supposed to provide the heating and ventilation and air conditioning for all these data centers that's supposedly going to be built. Fix today was down $75. STRL, Sterling Infrastructure, down $54, 14%, cracking the 50-day moving average. Catching the drift? So very weak day today. I have no idea what happens tomorrow. What I just know, air came out of those areas. Not just the no sales, but some meaty companies. And I worry. Mark this down. I really worry about the debt that's being accrued based on this artificial intelligence thing. Very worried about that now. Because accruing massive debt at the height of, which takes me to the next part of the equation. By the way, the Dow is down 800 today, which, by the way, is not even 2%. And by the way, the Dow's been strong. And I think, if I'm not incorrect, the Dow's still up 470 on the week. So I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but the Dow, is quite defensive. You know what else happened today? Goldman Sachs broke out of range yesterday, down $32 today. JP Morgan broke to new highs yesterday, down 3.4% today, tucked in like a frightened turtle. And we know that these banks and the other companies, investment bankers, do business with all this stuff. We're watching the markets very closely now, kids, because they have been so technology-centric. Now, recently, you've had very good money flows into medical, pharmaceuticals. Eli Lilly has gone insane to the upside, and a lot of lower beta areas, but they have just been bouncing in their bearish trends. We'll see. Other notes, Disney down $9 today, 7.75%. Earnings were down 3%. And interesting enough, they mentioned Universal Epic. It's the new theme park in Central Florida. I have not been to it yet. We think Disney's got to fix themselves up too. Prices and some other things. Disney didn't help today. Just letting you know. But just a very rough day. There's some green, not much. Drugs, some insurance, a couple of restaurants, but you know the restaurant stock's been trashed. But as good as the commodities were yesterday, were bad today. Housing never got going. And as we said, the semis and the financials, oy vey today. The big indices have not broken the 50-day yet. The NASDAQ is right there, 22,870. The 50-day is 22,811. Just below, the S&P closed at 6737. 66.99 is the 50-day. Don't want to see that crack. No. Don't want to see that. Gold today was acting splendidly, but even that came in. Happened in a nanosecond. At 125, everything was fine, and then whoosh to the downside. The gold. Crypto. Not good. Hope you listened. The Bitcoin deeper into its bearish phase. And by the way, they say bear markets are 20%. It's more than 20% down. And I think it broke 100,000. I think I saw that somewhere. I do want to tell you, though, that the mid-cap below the 50-day, I do want to let you know the small cap broke below the 50-day today. Mids and smalls. That would not be good news. Broader market stuff. So defensive, that's where it's gone. Started with the froth and the speculation, the no sales crap. And I do remember, man, I saw a couple of the no sales CEOs on TV acting like there's something. If your son or your daughter went on the corner and sold one glass of lemonade, you would have more sales than that CEO that went on TV banging his chest like a big gorilla in the outback or wherever the gorillas are. We're good gorillas. I've been seeing videos of people going to see these gorillas. I may have to do that. I guess that's in Africa somewhere. Anyway, so today sucked. We hope you have listened on the froth, the speculation, the crypto, the microstrategy, and anything else we've told you to avoid. Up next, this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else. Oh, this is the one, only Investor's Edge. Hey, yo. So, as you know, that's a little bit of rush. I am going to go see them 7 times on tour. I'm going to go to 7 different cities on tour. I'm picking out the Saturday nights. That's easiest for me. I'm going to visit 7 different cities. The easy ones, well, I think the Hollywood, Florida is a Thursday. But I'll go to the Tampa, Madison Square Garden. I'm going to do LA, Chicago. I'm trying to think, a couple others. I haven't gotten my tickets yet, and they're a pretty penny. But man, oh man, that's all I got left these days. Who else can I see? I'm going to see the Eagles at the Sphere. That's it. McCartney, maybe I'll see him one more time. Didn't need to see the Who again? I saw him, I don't know, 5 years ago in Jacksonville at front row. It's fantastic. Saw the Stones at Hyde Park. Saw the Eagles at Hyde Park also, but I do want to see them again, even though Glenn Fry is gone. After that, who do I got left? All my groups are done. Genesis is done. And Phil Collins, man, he just looks old. Hope he's doing well. Bad health. But I won't go see Fake Journey. Heck no. Styx is touring, but there's, I think, one or two from there, and I saw them a couple of times. I'm good. Billy Joel, I've seen 18 times. I'd see Springsteen again. I just saw him with the Fishman. It was about a year and a half ago. It was fantastic. He's so good. That's our music part of the show. Anybody else left that I can go see? I don't think so. I think I'm done. We'll do the Rush thing and that's it. Depression. You know I'm a concert guy, right? Love going to my favorites. All right, moving on. I have absolutely no idea what the market does tomorrow. I do want to let you know Applied Materials, one of the strong semiconductor equipment stocks that has benefited from all that stuff, reported earnings after the close. It is down, closed at 223 today. It's 26. It's down about 6 and change in the aftermarket, down 14 for the day. Okay. NVIDIA reports next week. And I got to tell you, we made big money on NVIDIA last year. We made money on it a couple of times this year, but we also stopped out a couple of times. The last one we did, we bought it at 184, see it go to 212. We ended up getting out at 189, made a whopping $5. Watched it go right back up to 199, got pissed off about it. It's back to 186. I feel almost better. But they report next week, and we'll see what that brings. They're not going to report anything bad. Let's see if the market's flushing something out. Because all I can tell you today, the big institutional crowd today was, for lack of a better words, jailbreak. And for the weaker, our left screen, we call it the weaker tech page. That crap's imploding. Imploding. APP, CoreWeave, that Circle Internet, Reddit. Recently, NBIS topped out and croaking. Things like HubSpot and Zebra Technology. Ooh. FLUT today. Oh, down a measly $33 to 201. Online gaming in Ireland. A lot of competition there. Things like that are on that screen. Intuit's on that screen. Mercado Libre. ServiceNow. And the like. If there's anything we do for you on this show is when we tell you something breaks the 50-day, you better be listening. And yet quite a few today do that. And again, S&P, NASDAQ, just above. Want to see that stick. New yearly lows today on the NASDAQ, 260. Jeez. 136 on the NYSE, and by the way, advanced declines today. 924 up, 3477 down on the New York. 923 up, 3629 down on the NASDAQ. In other news, we didn't even mention Washington today. I probably should. The Treasury Secretary was out today. I don't know if he said this by mistake. Oh, we're going to lower the tariffs. That should help costs. But they told us tariffs done raise costs. Interesting. Just letting you know, I saw that today at the White House. Let me finish off with something. Go look up credit default swaps. Go look that up. A lot of these AI plays, their cost for that are going up markedly. Just of note, our job is when more and more avoids show up to warn. You all have a good evening, a great evening. I'm going to work out. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. Hopefully a better day tomorrow. It's not our fault. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out.